Hi, this is Mike Hendrickson from Velocity 2016 in Santa Clara. I'm here with Mishka. Mishka, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
So you're with Contena.
Yes, Contena is the name of our company, and the name of the company comes from Contena is a container in Japanese, so it's a very good name for us, we think.
Okay, excellent. So what do you guys actually do as a company then?
We are doing an open source, developer friendly container and microservices platform. And we are targeting developers working for organizations of any size.
And so what do you guys do different than other companies that deliver container technology?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we would like to see if we compare our platform to others, so I would like to use the analogy to cars. So there might be these big trucks, and then there are family cars, and then there is everything in between. So I can see that most of the competition currently is happening on this big truck market, you know, the biggest truck you can make, the heaviest cargo you can lift, so that type of market. So naturally you can use this car. If you want to do food shopping, you can go this car to do your food shopping, but maybe it's more convenient to use some family-sized car to do your food shopping. So we are doing this family-sized car and that platform that's really, you know, manageable to be used by a single person or a small team of engineers instead of this kind of maybe bigger crew that is required by the big truck.
So if a developer works with you guys, what do you guys actually roll out to them? Is it like a service, or is it, you know, like I mentioned, containers as a service, or what are you rolling out to a developer, an individual?
Yeah, we provide a package for developer. They can download it to their own computer, and basically it's a Contena CLI tool. And with this CLI tool, they can provision our container platform on basically any cloud provider of their choice. They can also provision it to their own data center if they want. So basically we have the tools they can use to install Contena platform, and then once after that is done, they can use Docker containers and deploy it on this platform. And then it's worry free. It's self-healing, automatically maintained platform.
Self-healing, automatically maintained. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it also interoperates with other platforms, right? Because you said it was open source as well?
Yes.
So what are the benefits of doing this in an open source way?
Yeah, well, we see that the nature of this business is that it pretty much have to be open source. Our offering also, because there are so many players out there, and open source is really the way to go. And we have been basically choosing some of the best technologies out there in the jungle of all these container technologies. We have been picking, you know, the ones that we feel are the best for the developer, so they don't need to go through the hassle of, you know, evaluating everything and trying to put together, you know, working product. We have been doing that work on behalf of the developer and creating this, you know, ready-made family-sized car. You know, you can just jump in and start driving, and no need to get your hands dirty.
Well, so if it's a family-sized car,
yes,
and all of a sudden the developer that used your family-sized car finds their application or their infrastructure expanding where they need that giant vehicle, is that expandable for them, or what happens?
It scales quite a lot, but let's say there are limits. Like in a family-sized car, you can maybe fit in 5 or maybe even 6 people in a car. But I think majority, if you look at the families in the US, for example, so most of the families are less than maybe 6 people. So actually you can fit him in, and if you start to need to have a bus or something bigger, so of course there is need for those cases also, but that's not what we are doing.
So you are focused on the
mainstream.
Mainstream,
exactly. Okay. Because currently I feel that there are too many kind of products and too much talk about these big trucks and big buses. So we should also talk about these, you know, the normal use cases and what the developers really need.
So when a developer uses Contena, are there any other platform pieces that they need to select to make this work well for them, or is it works well with everything, or?
Yeah, basically they don't need to choose anything. They just install Contena, and then after that they can just happily start deploying their containers on this platform, and it's working, you know,
And they can store their data in any cloud they want, or Amazon, or Microsoft Azure, or whatever.
Because Container works perfectly on top of Azure. It works perfectly on top of DigitalOcean, AWS, all the most common platforms, but also platform on their own, if they have their own servers and they want to run some parts of Container in there, so it also works.
So if you could look forward to next year at this time, let's say we sit down and have this conversation next year, what would you like to say Container does different next year at this time, and what would you say you'd like to even do a year after that? Where do you want to drive your company and your technology?
Yes, so I would say that next year when we are sitting here, I would like to claim that we are the most widely used container platform among developers. So we want to be a platform of choice for developers. So naturally, I understand if it's some big organization, they have been chosen to use something else. But we want to be the #1 choice for developer if they can choose.
Okay. And then, so after that, let's go out one more year from that.
Yes.
After you've got this more ubiquity with developers, what do you want to provide them that will be different?
Well, also I want to connect, different types of, often when developing this type of microservice architectures and solutions, so often you start needing to use some SaaS services also as a part of your product. So we want to better integrate with all the existing SaaS offerings out there. For example, if the developers want to have some logging service, statistics or something like that, so we want to better integrate those in a kind of easy to use way for this platform.
So more ubiquitous integration with other, excellent. Well, Miško, we look forward to that journey with you.
All right.
Thank you.
See you next year.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.